Hello, ladies and gents! Happy New Year to everyone! I hope you all had some nice relaxing time during the holidays, and now you are ready to take 2017 head on! To assist you with that, I prepared some pretty amazing replays for you for the coming months, and to start it all off, how about a bit of Japanese power fantasy? Now, I actually came across this one on Twitter when somebody posted the results there, so I instantly got in touch with them and actually got the permission to use the replay. And let me tell you, I wasn't disappointed. Now, this might be a bit older, back from 9.15, but I think you will appreciate the in-your-face action of this brute of a tank. Got your interests already? Then check this out! Alright, so here we are in our OI, this time around in a standard battle on Windstorm. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this replay is back from 9.15, which was actually the time when really the OI and the OI Experimenter received a much needed nerf. It wasn't really a big nerf though, was it? Really what they did with the OIs was to adjust the rate of fire, the aim time, the dispersion and a couple of other statistics. But the main strength of the machine, which is to have a really punishing 15 cm Howitzer and very tough armor for its tier, remained really untouched. So, while it certainly was a little bit of a blow for the machine, in the right situations, this thing is still tough as nails. Now, talking about right situations, have a look at this dream matchmaking. We are top tier, the enemies doesn't seem to be overly experienced players, and with a bit of luck, we might actually be able to fight in a city environment, which is really where this machine shines. As, oh, hold on a second. What's that Lux doing over there? It's not every day that you get spotted in this position right at the beginning of the match. I just wonder what the Lux is now saying in chat. It's either noob team, that he didn't receive any support, or maybe like, I spotted the enemy team. They are just leaving the base. You are welcome, team. Oh man. Suicide scouting for the win. Anywho, talking about fighting the city, well, so far it seems, unfortunately, the enemy team really didn't come here to fight it out. They seem to be making a really aggressive push up north, however, which flank is already pretty much starting to crumble, so we can really expect that flank to fall in a very rapid fashion. And then it's a question if the enemy will just waltz into our cap, or if they wanna join the fight in the middle. Now luckily, our guys here in this town realize that there is actually nobody to wait for, so they are making a push towards the other side of the city, which is the right decision to do. This is basically the nightmare for all of these big, heavy and slow tanks. If you realize that the fight is really going on the other side of the map, well, you either can turn around and get your way back towards your cap, or you can try to push through and see if you can make a difference that way. And I really like what we are doing here. We are getting into the sides of the enemies who are trying to fight it out in the middle, and bang! Churchill 1 is down. And just in time as well, because, well, the northern flank, as expected, has now already fallen. So it's time to start killing some tanks. Oh man, please cover your eyes. This will be really dirty. Oh boy, that M6 never know what hit him. So the middle is secured, and the scores are actually rather close. But this is where the problem starts. Right now we are being shot from the side, and probably the enemies will try to come and get the rest of us, and indeed there they are. Now the good news is they didn't rush the cap, at least so far it seems. So that means we are actually here in a rather strong position. There is no artillery, which could really hurt us, and with a bit of careful positioning we should be able to cover our sides, which is really our only weak spot in this match. Now that right there was one of the few wasted shots, probably the only one really. The Super Jumbo has, I think, the stock turret, which has really tough armor, so that shot with the AP shells was never going through. Shooting at the Skoda though. Oh boy. That was rather juicy. Now something that I didn't mention here, our hero is actually using AP shells for most of the battle, which in this matchmaking is actually a really valid decision. Oh, taking out the Chihi and, well, that guy taking a punt at us. Wishful thinking, my friend, wishful thinking. Now I really like what again we are doing here. Front of us the enemy and try to reverse, make sure that they don't get our sides, which is really the most important thing that you have to do in this thing. Jagdpanzer 4 actually has a decent match here, and that thing when top tier is also a very dangerous beast. However, shooting at the front of the OI, well, that's a completely different story. KV-85 making a run for it. Now we have a pretty horrific reload time. After the nerf it's actually 25 seconds at base, so yeah, have to be careful between shots. Jagdpanzer 4 smacks one in, and then we receive also a hit from the KV-85 from the front. Pretty sure that was an APCR shell, as he should. Really, when you are shooting at an OI, and even if you are the same tier heavy tank, you better use every tool at your disposal. Oh, we seem to have reloaded. 643 damage in the face. So that was basically 7 hits, 7 kills. Well, we received 1 bounce from the Jumbo, but that was about it. And that's really the big one with the AP shells. If you are managing to penetrate, and with 121mm that's really not a problem, then it's pretty much going to be a one-shot kill at this tier. Now, we are here in a little bit of a troubled situation. T-14 managed to sneak back behind us, and we will probably bounce this one. Yes, that's actually a very rounded turret, and we couldn't really shoot down into the top of it, unfortunately. So we are switching here to HE, as we should. Now I really like again what we are doing here. Basically the T-14 at this stage is absolutely no threat to us. So we can very easily just keep our ass towards him, which has also 150mm, and casually wait until we are reloaded. Really what these guys should have done is to use their numerical advantage and get our sides. Parking right in front of us though. Oh boy. Well, I'm sure this will going to go splendid for you, boy. Just a couple more seconds, your pain will be all over. There we go, that's one more player to the forums complaining about the complete OP-ness of the OI. And while yeah, it can be certainly a punishing one, but if you know its weak spots, it's actually rather easy to outplay these things. Now the T-3485 actually managed to put a couple into our sides. Question is, will he be cheeky, try to go around, get our sides, or will he come back for another punt? Well, thank you very much for the 11th kill, my friend. That was pretty amazing. Alright, so who said that armor-piercing rounds and howitzers do not mix? Now, of course, this was the perfect matchmaking for it, but this one-shot mayhem was pretty entertaining nonetheless. Ace Tanker, Pooh's Medal, Kolobanov's Medal, Cool-Headed, Steel Wall, High Caliber, and of course a Top Gun. The only thing that's more impressive than this medal shower is the list of 11 one-shots down below. Absolutely crazy. Now, looking at the team results, I think we might have carried this one a little bit. Over 3000 damage, which is actually more than twice of anybody in the match, 11 kills and a very respectable 1664 base experience. Not too shabby. And finally we fired 13 shots, hitting every single one of them and bouncing only 2. Those armor-piercing rounds definitely did the job this time. Now at the same time, we also managed to negate a whopping 25 shots out of the 29 hits received, taking a potential 2700 damage on our chin. It really was only in the last minute that the enemies could get our flank, otherwise we actually used our armor pretty damn effectively. Right, so this was our little rampage in the OI, this absolutely mental tier 6 monster of a tank. Special thanks to klaasm67 for the replay, and congratulations to a really spectacular game. I hope you guys have been entertained as well, and if you were, thanks a lot for considering giving this a like or sharing it. Tomorrow I have something really special for you in the form of a Funny Moments episode dedicated to the brand new Swedish tanks, and then on Thursday it will be time to ace the Chinese tier 7 medium tank, the T-34-1, with some pretty horrific matchmaking. Thank you very much for watching everyone, and I look forward to seeing you again in one of the next videos.